everyone, it's Darby from rejoiceandcreate.com, and I have a fun project for you today, and that's this one. Now this was modeled after a military footlocker, and it was intended for Father's Day, especially fathers who are military veterans or active military as well. The box is 5.5 inches long by 4 inches wide by 3.5 inches deep. So there's a lot that you can fit into it, and you can actually change it into some different things. I was thinking that maybe you could do it into an ammo box for hunters and use some camouflage cardstock, and I think that's what I'll try today. But I think you can also make it into a cooler for people that like to have picnics on the beach or in the park. Perhaps you can make it into a jewelry box for a young lady in your life or a friend in your life, or maybe even a steamer trunk for someone who likes to travel. The box itself is very simple. It's just 3 boxes that are made and put together in a certain way, and the personality really comes in the details. So what I did is I went online and I looked for different military footlockers, found one I liked, and that's what I modeled it after. So if you have another project that you have in mind, I just do the web search and see what there is, and use the basic box and then decorate it as desired. What I did for this one is for the details, I used a 1/4 inch washi tape, and I will do that again for my camouflage box as well. I also used some of the circle tab punch from Stampin' Up, and to mimic the brass that's on some of the military footlockers, I punched it out of the gold foil paper. These two do not close. You could put a closure on there like a Velcro dot or something if you wish to, but the main closure is this one, which does have a Velcro dot. And this circle tab punch is placed on a 1 by 1 inch, a 1 inch square piece of cardstock that matches the cardstock, and it is scored in the half at 1/2 inch. So you can see how it folds back at the 1/2 inch, and I have the I guess the shoulders, I call them, of the circle tab punch right at the end there, so you can do that. This handle is just a 3/8 inch strip of cardstock that I scored. And these handles are a 1 3/4 inch circle that has a 1 inch circle cut out of it. And how I do that is I actually cut the 1 inch circle first, and then I center the 1 3/4 inch around it. And I'll show you how to do that one when I get to that point in the next box. Now you can personalize this box any way you want to. If you want to put a sentiment on the inside of the lid, go right ahead. I'm giving a Publix gift card, which is a gift card to our local grocery store, in the top tray, but you could put whatever you want, including a gift certificate to Omaha Steaks, because what's coming on the inside of the box are 2 seasoning rubs from the Weber Grill store that my husband really likes, and these will be going to him. So it'll season his hamburgers or his steaks that he'll be getting from Omaha Steak or from the local grocery store with the gift certificate that's on the top. But I'm sure there's many things that you can think of to gift as well. So let me go ahead and show you what we need for this. Okay, so what we'll start out with is a piece of cardstock that is 9.5 by 11. So you will be cutting into a 12-inch piece of cardstock. You also need a piece of cardstock, this is for the base. You also need a piece of cardstock that is 5.5 inches wide by 7 inches long, and this is for the top. For the tray part of it, you'll need a piece of cardstock that is 5 3/8 by 6 7/8, and that's so it'll just fit inside the box and sit on the tray. And there are 2 supports on the inside here. Let me pull that out so you can see that. Right here and here, and that's what holds the tray up on top, so you can put something down below and something on top. And those are 3 7/8 inches wide, so it'll fit inside the width of the box, and 2 3/4 inch tall. So that's what these 2 are. And then what you'll need is just some extra cardstock, whether it's the same or contrasting color, but we'll use that for the 2 handles, which I made out of circles. You can make them out of squares. And I also popped a circle to make the little handles for the inside tray area as well. And I'll show you how I did that. Alright, so let's get going making our basic boxes. Let me move this one out of the way for the moment. And the 2 pieces we're going to start with are the base and the top. Now on my other one I used a solid color piece of cardstock, but on this one, because I want to make it look like a box that a hunter might use, I'm actually going to turn it into camouflage. So what I did is I started with a basic neutral color, and then I stamped it I sponged it with a whole bunch of different colors that were camouflage for here in Florida. And then I just stamped it with a bunch of plain, leafy looking, dark green stamp set. And I did that one to both the bottom and the top. And if you notice on this one, I didn't pay attention to the corners much because we will be cutting those and they'll be going on the inside. So I focused more on this, and this is the bottom of the box as well. So it's mostly the sides that you're going to have to worry about and the top. So this is what we're going to use today. All right, so let's go ahead and get our scoreboard up. For the base of the box, we're going to score it at 2 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. Okay, we'll set that aside for a minute. Now this is the lid of the box. For the lid, we're going to score it at 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold and burnish. I'll start with the lid because it's sitting here. And let me turn it on this side so it's easier to see my score lines. We're simply going to make this like a regular box. So on these long rectangle parts of the sides, we're going to cut up straight on that score line. And we're going to notch slightly into the square score line and then just take a slight bit off of the outside. That just helps us line it up neater. And do the same thing on all 4. Okay, I'm going to flip it over, place score tape on each of the tabs, and we will assemble the top. Okay, so we'll set that aside for a second and we'll go ahead and do our bottom of the box, very similar. Okay, now make sure that it's landscape, that it's the bottom of the box is longer across the side to side and shorter across the front to back, because I'm going to cut up these sides neatly to make the front of the box look neat. Okay, again, we're going to put I'm going to put 2 strips of the tape on all the tabs, and then we'll put it together. 1 strip near the bottom and 1 strip near the top. Okay, so here's my base. Now, when I noticed that I did the military footlocker, that I went ahead and put some 1/4 inch washi tape all around it to make it look like the footlockers do, because it looks like they have seams all over it. And I'm going to do that similarly to this one, the ammo box, as well. I'm going to use a darker kind of drab color 1/4 inch washi tape. But you could also use a 1/4 inch strip of coordinating or contrasting cardstock and put it all the way around as well. Or if you're making something like a jewelry box, a cooler, or even the steamer trunk, you may not need to do that. Just refer to some pictures of what it is you're trying to copy to decide what you want to do with it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and run this all the way around, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what I have now for my box. The base and the top. Let me set those aside for a minute, and they should match up. If you put them together, they're probably pretty close to matching up like that. All right, let's put those aside, and we're going to do the tray. All right, so let's go ahead and score the tray, and the tray is simply just like the top. We're going to do it at 3/4 of an inch on each side. And if you notice, I did not make this one camouflage to sit inside, because the inside of the box is going to be this similar color. Okay, so for the tray, I did it exactly the same way as the top, but remember it was 1/8 of an inch smaller, so it will fit right inside the box. And what I did for the tray is I took a 2-inch circle, punched it out, I scored it right down the center at 1 inch and cut it on the score line, and I'm going to glue it to each of the ends to make it like a little handle. And for this I'll use some wet glue. Okay, so that's our tray. Let's go ahead and score our supports so we can put the supports in and get the box together. Now remember, these were each, let me find it. Okay, 3 7/8 inch wide and 2 3/4 of an inch tall. On that short side, that 2 3/4 of an inch side, we're going to score it at 2 1/4. So essentially 1/2 inch from that side. Okay, so that's going to fold down to support our tray, and this will glue against the side, so go ahead and put some tape on those as well. Okay, so just take the bottom of the box and the glue side to the side, snuggle it in, center it, and just push it right up against the side. And you can go ahead and push that down too. Now we're going to do the same with the other one. Push it against this side. And fold that down. So there's our supports for the tray. And you can see you've got a lot of space in there to put things down below as well. All right, so our next thing that we're going to do is to prepare the hinges. For my hinges, I actually just used 3 straps that were 3/8 of an inch wide and about 2 inches long, and I put points on the end of them, on both ends, to make it look like a strap hinge. This time I just punched out 3 ovals that I had. This is an old Stampin' Up! Punch. But go ahead and fold those in half. Decide which one you want for the front and for the back. Let's see, kind of like this one, kind of like this for the front, so that's going to be my front, and this will be my back. So let me turn the back towards me. And what I'm going to do, after making these hinges very flexible, is I'm going to put glue on half of it, and then I'm going to hang it over the side and then just press that 1/2 down. So I'm hoping to get that fold right where my 2 boxes are going to line up. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm going to roughly eyeball it right in the middle. And you can measure them if you really want to. So kind of hang that fold line, score line right over the hinge, and then press down the glue side into the back of the box. Okay, and I'll do that with the others as well. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull those back. And we're going to line up our front, do the same thing with the front. And you know, I'm going to set my tray in here. As you can see, that sticks up about 1/4 of an inch over the top, like the regular footlockers, to help us guide our box. So decide which one you want for the front of this box. And I like this front, so this will be my back. And I'm going to line that one up on top of my other one. And then I'll just go ahead and glue the top of the hinges to the back. And this one I'll hold just a moment to make sure I have them lined up. And you make sure you have your corners lined up in the back as well. Okay, now I'm going to take out my tray and just go ahead and push these together and hold them there so they glue together. Okay, and that's how my hinges look on the back. All right, let me go ahead and put my Okay, let's go ahead and put our tray back in. Okay, so that's it so far. Let me go ahead and put the sides of my boxes on, and how I did that was I took some, actually it wasn't the same color as the inside of the box. It was a color that's close to this color that I used for the trim. So let me show you that, and just go ahead and punch your 1 inch, but give yourself enough room around it for your next one. There's both of those. And then here's my 1 3/4 inch circle. I'm just going to center it right around that circle. Now you could do the same thing with squares if you have 2 consecutive square punches. Or you can even use rope for the handles. That would look really cute. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and fold these in half. And then I'm going to glue half of it to the side of my hunter's box. And let me glue that and kind of center it the best I can. And the other one I glued right up along my trim. This one I'm going to glue a little bit lower, right in the center. Okay, and repeat that on the other side. Okay, so the last thing we have to do is to put on the front. Now with the military footlocker, I went ahead and did it very close to the way they, some of the pictures I saw when I looked up images of military footlockers, and they had 2 clasps that came down and 1 clasp that came up. Now for the ammo box, I think I'm going to just do 2 side clasps that come down, and I'll put Velcro on those. These I don't have Velcro on. The only closure is the Velcro that's on this 1 clasp that goes up for this one. But as I said, the personalization is the fun part, and you just do it the way that you want it to look in the end. So I'm going to punch out 2 of these circle tab punches, because I will go ahead and fold them over. And so I'm just going to glue them together. All right, let me rest that on the back. And I'm going to glue it right approximately 1 inch in, one on both sides. You can measure. Okay. All right, so let's put that tray back in. Close the box back up. Let me rock that back for a minute because I'll show you how I put the Velcro on. Now I'm going to use this, it's a 3/8 inch Velcro dot. And I'll go ahead and take one of my foam parts and stick it to my clear part. And then pull both of those off. Oops, not all of them off, just both of those off. I want the clear part to be on the front of the box so you don't see it quite so much. And I want the fuzzy white part to be on the inside of the tab. So actually, let me take that out a minute. So I'm going to put this right in the center of the circle part of the tab. And then close it so that it just closes. And then stick that down. And then where's my piercing tool? Because it's not really adhered yet, I'm going to stick my piercing tool under just to help me separate these. And then I'll just squeeze it down on both the bottom and the top. Okay, now I'll do the same thing with the other one. Okay. All right, so let's put that back together. All right, so here's how my camouflage ammo box came out to be. And you can put a tag on there. You can personalize it on the inside as well. You put a card back there and put your sentiment on there. You have a tray for gift cards or note cards or gift certificates or anything that you want, maybe even candy. And you have a nice deep part to this as well. And this sits 2 1/4 inches wide. So this is 2 1/4 by 4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. So there's a lot you can put into there. And I think it makes it very cute. I mean, certainly a jewelry box would work as well. All right, so let me put these back together. I'm going to tip them back for you to see. And here's the military footlocker. So I hope you like the project and find it useful. It's a great way to honor Dad or whoever you want to personalize this to. And if you make something else out of it, please let me know. I'd love to see what you're crafting out of it. So if you like the video, please subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to be notified of new videos as I upload them. For more information, please visit rejoiceandcreate.com for this project and others. And as always, until we meet again, I hope your days are blessed. Bye!